1450 BC, royal sarcophagi were elaborate and intricately carved. Tut's is quartzite and a work of beauty. But experts Marianne Eaton-Krauss and Dennis Stocks have been examining it, and all is not as it seems. Could such an intricate work of art have been produced within the 70-day deadline? The answer may be found here, York Minster, England, the largest Gothic cathedral in Northern Europe. It takes the work of 25 stonemasons and carvers to maintain this building. Today, experimental archaeologist Dennis Stocks has set one of them a challenge.
When you look at it closely, it appears naive in style, but the actual workmanship that's gone into it is absolutely superb. It's a real piece of fantastic craftsmanship.
Stone carver Dave Willett has chosen to carve the face of the goddess Isis from a corner of the sarcophagus. Then he and Stocks will attempt to estimate how long it might have taken the original carvers to produce the entire box.
And if you look at the subtlety of the carving, so it's pretty round the eye, and certainly on the lips, absolutely beautifully worked.
Yes. Where the lips curled over at the bottom,
Yeah,
that would take quite a bit of work to achieve that.
It would, yes.
Willett normally works with limestone. The challenge is how he'll cope with quartzite, one of the hardest stones on Earth. First, he tries one of his modern steel chisels.
That's it. Oh, yes.
It's fairly efficient. You can shift quite a bit with that.
But even so...
But it does wear it down pretty quick.
Wear it down a little bit, yeah.
Next, he tries a chisel made of bronze, a material used by the ancient Egyptians.
It hardly touches it.
But Willett won't be using either of these tools. Stock's years of research on ancient stoneworking techniques suggests the Egyptians used chisels made of flint.
Certainly more efficient than the
That
bronze.
seems to be working very well.
Compared to the bronze, it's brilliant. Yeah.
Even on this very hard stone, it's quite clear that you really need a stone tool to work stone.
Yes, definitely.
Willett gets to work. The goddess's face is carved in relief, so once sketched out, he must remove all the background. It promises to be a laborious job.
Well, I think it's so different to use a tool made of stone rather than a tool made of steel that he's going to find it quite challenging at the beginning until he gets used to it. I think he's going to have to learn to be a stonemason all over again.
Back in Egypt, Marianne Eaton-Krauss is also investigating Tutsarcophagus. For years, she's studied photographs, puzzled by inconsistencies in the carving of the four-winged goddesses. These figures would lead her to an amazing discovery.
If we start here at the head end of the sarcophagus, we can see the incredible amount of detail that has been lavished on these figures. We see the necklace, which has been done in relief. Here, even the knot shown in the strap of the dress. Also the navel, and the way the foot has been done and the anklets.
But the foot end of the box is very different.
We'll see the goddess Selkit, and we will see here many of the same details, but executed only in paint. And she has no navel. Well, it's quite clear that the head end is much more finished. The foot end has only been finished in paint in a rather hurried fashion.
Back at York Minster, stone carver Dave Willett is beginning to understand why some parts are more finished than others. It's taken him 50 hours simply to take out the background and shape the face in relief. But he's discovering, too, how the ancient Egyptians may have produced the sarcophagus and what they went through to do it.
Using the granite pounders, I think, is how they must have taken out larger areas, because it's so much more efficient than using the flints. But it's incredibly hard work. And they must have been absolutely exhausted and incredibly fit to be doing this all day.
Experimental archaeologist Dennis Stocks is trying to estimate how long it might have taken to produce the whole sarcophagus. Before carving even began, his research suggests the ancient Egyptians would have first drilled out the interior of the quartzite block.
By using tubular drills of copper, with a bow to turn it, with sound abrasive for the drilling out, and with 3 teams working 8 hours a day, I think it would take about 536 days, which is equal to about 18 months.
Finally, after almost 4 weeks of carving, Willett finishes the goddess.
Hey! Wow! It stands right out at you, doesn't it? Well, it's a wonderful job. It really is. You know, I think it's amazing that you can produce such a level of detail with such a tiny piece of flint.
It is quite incredible, really. When I first started, I thought, no way would flints be able to do this, but it certainly opened my eyes to what skill and craftsmanship they had in ancient Egypt.
Using his work as a guide, Willett estimates it would have taken one man almost 6 years to carve the entire sarcophagus. But evidence suggests the box was the work of a team of craftsmen.
How many men would you think could work at the same time around the sarcophagus?
You could probably get about 8 or 10 round.
Well, suppose we say about 10.
That'll bring it down to about 8 months.
So the sarcophagus could not have been carved in the 70-day deadline. Tut would have needed to have commissioned it before he died.